When we have an experience, grandma, pain, the reality is multiple areas get busy. And so when the memory areas get busy, we remember a lot of different things. And so in Lorimer's case, a great example is he had this horrible experience where a snake bit him, which those are very bad snakes in Australia, by the way. Now that the minute something got even close to it that resembled that experience, that map in the brain, that tag, if you will, lit up instantly. And the end result, the conclusion was, this is bad. And the most powerful thing that could happen for the brain to get your attention is turn on the most vicious pain that he could feel, even though it was a twig that was scraping his leg. So it's a very distributed process. And so to finish the question, in chronic pain, our brains just get busier with pain because we go to doctor's visits, therapy visits. We're not getting any better, really. And so the brain gets more worried. So it says, let's talk some more about it. Let's talk some more about it. And so our poor patients come in and say things like, I cannot focus as much as I used to. I could read a book front to back. Now I read halfway through and I'm tired. Or I got that fog in my brain. There's nothing wrong with the brain. The brain is just busy and is dealing with pain, there's no pain area in the brain, so the brain gets busy in the other areas. So very fascinating. It's hard for our poor patients because memory goes down a little bit and focus goes down, but it's a consequence of being busy with pain while we're dealing with pain.
What would be an example of a story that you would tell to explain to a patient that's dealing with that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's a beautiful story. We like to tell the brain meeting story, right? So just like I did with you, Brent, I will sit with the patient and say, hey, did you grow up with your grandparents? I say, oh, yeah. I said, all right, I want you to do me a favor, close your eyes and think about your grandma. And they close their eyes. And then when I say, open your eyes, I say, can you remember grandma? Yeah. Okay, good. Did you see grandma? Yeah, when I close my eyes, I can see her. Do you have any feelings, right? The same thing I did with you. And then I will explain to them and say, there's no one area in your brain. You had to remember grandma, so the area of the brain dealing with memory is busy. You had to see her, you had to smell her, you had to experience her. And that is how pain works. So think of the brain this way. There are 9 departments in the human brain. There's a movement department, there's a focus department, there's a memory department, there's 9 different departments in this big thing called the brain company. Every department, when it's fully staffed, has 4 people working in that department. So if I, as a therapist, ask you to raise your arm in therapy, the department that deals with movement is fully operational. So you raise your arm beautifully to the top and bring it back down, and we're good. But when you have pain and the brain, there's no pain department in the brain says, okay, we're going to have an emergency pain meeting tomorrow. Why? Because I've been going from doctor to doctor to therapist, MRIs, CAT scans. So now, because there's no pain department, the brain says, I want one person from every department to come to the pain meeting. So now the movement department, instead of having 4 people, have 3 people. So I ask you to move your arm in therapy, and now you move kind of ugly, if you will, kind of like wonky, right? And doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. No, that department is understaffed. Now your brain gets tired when you read a book. Why? Because the department is understaffed. And so the cool thing is we can also shift it. The more I teach you about pain, the better we work on sleep and nutrition and all the good stuff we're supposed to do in therapy, we can actually get those departments to restore. But it's plasticity. It shifts. It can get a little bit more busy. It can get less busy. But yeah, those are just as an example, and it seems to resonate with people. They go, oh, that makes sense.
I love that story.